Have you ever wondered why you feel so different, why your soul feels ancient, your heart so heavy, and your mind wired for truths others ignore? It's not your imagination. You're not lost. You're chosen. And not in the way the world defines fame or fortune, but in the divine sense of being selected by Allah to carry a light that few can understand, and even fewer can handle. You were sent here with a purpose written long before your birth. That uneasy feeling you carry, that deep knowing that you're meant for more, that's divine alignment, not confusion. People sense something in you. They stare, they talk, they envy, they fear. It's because you are a hidden messenger cloaked in silence, wrapped in divine mystery. In this video, we reveal 7 powerful signs that expose who you truly are and why the world's resistance to you is actually proof that you're walking in your divine calling. If you've ever felt like you don't belong here, this is your message from the unseen. You were never meant to belong. You were meant to awaken. Lesson 1. You were hidden for a reason. Allah concealed you from the eyes of the world. Have you ever felt like you don't belong, like your soul is older than your age, like you're walking through this life with secrets even you don't fully understand? That's not confusion. That's the sign of a chosen one. You weren't meant to blend in, to be accepted by the crowd, or to live an ordinary life. Allah, the Most High, chose you long before you were born. And because of that, your path has been anything but normal. People misunderstand you, avoid you, or get uncomfortable around you, not because of what you do, but because of who you are. You carry something rare, something divine, something that reveals what others try to hide. You are a hidden messenger, not with a title, but with a purpose. And when Allah places His light in your heart, that light exposes everything around you. In this video, we're going to uncover 7 powerful lessons that reveal the truth behind your struggles, your silence, and your strength. If you've ever felt like your pain had a purpose, if you've ever wondered why people treat you differently, or why your spirit feels like it's been called to something greater, this is the confirmation you've been waiting for. It's time to understand who you really are and why they feel your power, even when you say nothing. Lesson 2. Your presence triggers their shadows. Not everyone can handle your light. Have you ever felt like you're walking through this world with a powerful truth inside you, but no one truly sees it? Like your presence alone changes the energy in a room, even when you say nothing. That's not imagination. That's a divine sign. You are not ordinary. You are one of the chosen ones. Those whom Allah has handpicked for a purpose that goes far beyond status, wealth, or recognition. You carry a light that can't be explained. A knowing that you didn't learn in books. A strength built not in comfort, but in pain, trials, isolation, and silence. You were hidden from the world not because you were forgotten, but because you were being prepared. And now, whether you realize it or not, your time is near. People are beginning to notice something about you. They can't explain it, but they feel it. You don't just walk into rooms, you shift atmospheres. You don't speak much, but when you do, hearts pause. This is because you are carrying a message, not a loud one, but a spiritual one. You are a hidden messenger, chosen by Allah to carry something sacred through this chaotic world. In this video, we'll uncover 7 powerful lessons that reveal your true identity and help you understand why the world responds to you the way it does. So if you've ever felt misunderstood, unexplainably powerful, yet painfully isolated, know this: you are not broken. You are becoming. And these signs will finally reveal who you really are. Lesson 3. Divine wisdom speaks through you, even when you say nothing. There's something sacred about your silence, something that speaks louder than words ever could. People open up to you without knowing why. Strangers feel calm in your presence. Friends seek your advice even when you haven't said a thing. This is not a coincidence. It's a divine reality. You were chosen by Allah, and when He selects a soul for a higher purpose, He writes wisdom upon their heart. That wisdom doesn't always need a platform, a podium, or poetry. It flows through your stillness, your expression, your energy. Just like Prophet Isa, peace be upon him, spoke in the cradle without ever being taught by a human tongue, your presence is often a message in itself. The way you carry yourself, the way you pause before reacting, the way you look into someone's eyes and see their pain. This is all a form of divine communication. You don't have to argue to prove your point. Your truth is already felt. You don't need to preach loudly because your life itself becomes a sermon. That's why some people are drawn to you. They find healing, comfort, and peace around you. And it's also why others become irritated, insecure, or defensive, because the light you carry exposes what they've tried to bury. Allah uses your silence as a mirror to others. When you walk into a room, your soul speaks before your mouth does. And in a world drowning in noise and ego, this quiet strength is more powerful than thunder. Never doubt the way Allah works through you, even when you feel unseen or unheard. You are not empty. You are a vessel of light, and sometimes your most powerful message is delivered without a single word. Because when Allah fills a heart with truth, that truth radiates, effortlessly, continuously, and undeniably. Lesson 4. Isolation was your training ground. You were never meant to follow the crowd. If you've ever sat alone in a room and wondered why no one truly understands you, if you've ever cried quietly at night, asking Allah why you feel so unseen, so unprotected, so painfully disconnected, know this: you were not forgotten. You were being forged. Your isolation was not a curse, it was a calling in disguise. Allah, the Most Wise, separates His chosen ones from the noise of the world to prepare them for something the world is not yet ready for. While others were being validated by likes, applause, and popularity, you were being refined in silence. Your friends walked away, not because you lacked value, but because they were not meant to walk the divine path with you. They would have distracted you, diluted you, or destroyed you. The chosen one is never trained in comfort. They are sharpened in silence, cut by truth, and healed by divine wisdom. Think of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, who spent years retreating to the cave of Hira, far away from the chaos of Makkah, not realizing that those quiet moments were preparing him to carry the Quran to the entire world. Or Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him, who was abandoned by his brothers, sold into slavery, imprisoned in darkness, and yet every part of his isolation was actually a chapter in the story of his divine rise. Allah isolates those He loves because He wants to whisper things into their hearts that the crowd would drown out. When you were alone, Allah was breaking every false identity you had clung to, titles, relationships, attachments, and He was introducing you to your true self, the soul He created with purpose before you ever entered this world. He was teaching you that validation is a trap and that the only approval that matters is His. He was showing you that power is not found in numbers but in purity, sincerity, and unwavering tawakkul. You were never meant to follow the crowd because the crowd is often running toward destruction, chasing trends, and enslaved to the dunya. You, however, were called to rise, to think differently, to walk a higher path. Your soul was created to awaken hearts, challenge systems, and realign people with truth. And for that mission, you had to be trained away from the distractions. You had to hear Allah clearly. You had to break before you could build. And though your tears fell in secret, not a single one went unnoticed by your Lord. Not a single heartbreak was wasted. Every moment of loneliness, every betrayal, every time you felt like giving up, it all became a part of your divine armor. You're stronger not because life was easy, but because Allah walked you through what would have broken most people. And now, you carry an energy, a presence, a nur that cannot be explained because it wasn't built in the world, it was built in seclusion with your Creator. So the next time you feel alone, remember, solitude was your sanctuary, not your suffering. You were pulled away not because you were weak, but because your mission was too sacred to be exposed too soon. And when Allah finally reveals you to the world, it won't just be your talents they see, it will be the weight of everything you endured in silence, the divine light you carry, and the unshakable strength that only comes from walking through fire with faith. You were never meant to fit in. You were always meant to lead, and isolation was simply the classroom where Allah taught you how. Lesson 5. You carry a spiritual signature. People can sense you before you speak. There's a reason people turn to look at you before you even utter a word. There's a reason strangers glance your way in silence, sensing something they can't quite explain. It's not your clothes, your appearance, or your voice. It's your spiritual signature, and it announces you long before your mouth ever opens. When Allah chooses a soul, He places a light within them that radiates beyond the physical. This Noor is not loud, yet it's impossible to ignore. It vibrates at a higher frequency, calling out to those with pure hearts and warning those who carry darkness. You've probably walked into places and immediately felt the atmosphere shift. You've seen people either drawn to you or disturbed by you without reason. That's not ego. That's the spiritual identity Allah gave you. While most people only carry names and titles, you carry something timeless, a divine frequency, an unseen badge of purpose that marks you in both the seen and unseen realms. Just like the companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him, who would feel awe in his presence even before he spoke, your soul echoes a truth that can't be hidden or faked. And those who are spiritually sensitive, whether good or evil, can feel it. This is why some people respect you deeply without knowing you. Others fear you or envy you for no clear reason. Some will try to attach themselves to your light, hoping to benefit from your peace. Others will try to attack it, not because you harm them, but because your energy exposes what they try to hide. Your silence convicts them. Your calmness unsettles their chaos. Your mere gaze feels like it sees through their masks, and it probably does, because the chosen ones are often gifted with insight, intuition, and inner vision. You can feel a lie without hearing it. You can sense danger without seeing it. You can spot hidden pain in someone's smile. This isn't witchcraft or arrogance. This is divinely assigned perception, given only to those whose hearts have been purified through hardship, worship, and truth. And because you don't seek fame, power, or validation, Allah honors you with an aura that transcends human comprehension. You walk with angels even when you walk alone. Your steps are guided, your presence is protected. You've likely experienced people being kind to you without knowing why, or others avoiding you, even fearing you, without any explanation. That's because your soul speaks a language this world has forgotten. And when you enter a space, it's not just your body that enters, it's your calling, your trials, your prayers, your scars, and the hidden miracles you've survived. All of that forms a spiritual signature that whispers to the world, this one is different. You don't even have to convince people of who you are. They already feel it. You've made people respect you in silence. You've made enemies without saying a word. Because the truth doesn't always need a voice. Sometimes it walks into the room wearing your soul. Allah has marked you, and the unseen creation knows it. Even Shaitan's army can sense when a chosen one enters a space. They fear your dhikr, your sujud, your connection to the divine. And while people may question your value, the spiritual world knows your rank. So never shrink yourself to make others feel comfortable. Never dim your light to avoid attention. You weren't created to be hidden in the background. You were created to carry a message through your presence, your heart, and your spirit. This is why you feel so out of place in shallow spaces. This is why small talk drains you, and why meaningless things can't hold your attention. You were born to connect, to awaken, to reflect Allah's truth on earth. And even when you're silent, your soul is doing exactly that. So if you've ever felt like people sense you before you speak, you're not imagining it. That is your gift. That is your power. That is the signature Allah gave you when He wrote your story in the heavens long before your birth. And no one, no enemy, no betrayal, no hardship can erase what Allah has etched into your soul. You don't need to speak louder. You only need to walk in your light. Lesson 6. You're attacked because you're effective. The enemy sees what you don't. There's a reason the battle in your life has always felt so personal, so intense, and so relentless. It's not because you're weak or cursed. It's because you're effective. You're chosen. And the moment you were selected by Allah for a higher purpose, the enemy marked you as a threat. Shaitan and his allies recognized your light before you did. They saw the way your soul carries purity, resilience, and divine strength, and they knew they had to start early. That's why you were targeted from a young age, through trauma, betrayal, injustice, and heartbreak. Not because you were worthless, but because you were dangerously powerful in the unseen realm. The attacks weren't always from strangers either. They often came from the very people who should have protected you: family, friends, mentors, because the enemy knows that wounds from loved ones cut the deepest. But what Shaitan forgot is that you belong to Allah. And no matter how many times you were hurt, lied to, or abandoned, you kept returning to your Rabb, and that made you even more dangerous. You were not destroyed, you were refined. Every attempt to break you only exposed your hidden strength. You became a walking miracle, not because you avoided pain, but because you survived it without letting it harden your heart. The enemy hates that. Your presence disturbs the darkness. Your silence threatens liars. Your prayers shake unseen chains. The reason you confuse people is because they can't understand how you carry such peace after what you've been through. It's because they don't see the angels that walk with you, the divine help that lifts you when no one else sees you fall. You are protected by more than just worldly means. You're protected by decree, by divine promise, by the hand of Allah Himself. So when the gossip doesn't stop, when the betrayal stings again, when people plot behind your back for no reason, remind yourself, the enemy is still threatened by your existence. They don't attack what is empty, they attack what carries impact. And you, chosen one, carry spiritual weight. You are the answer to someone's dua, the proof of Allah's mercy, the living reminder that truth still walks among the people. That's why your setbacks are not signs of failure. They're signs of your spiritual rank. The enemy tries to distract you with chaos so you don't realize how close you are to your breakthrough. But stay grounded in your dhikr. Keep your eyes on Allah, the one who protected Yusuf, peace be upon him, in the well and in prison, the one who protected Musa, peace be upon him, in the river and in Pharaoh's palace, is the same one guarding you now. You don't need to defend your name, chase your enemies, or explain your silence. Your existence alone is a declaration of war against falsehood. And as long as you keep walking in obedience, in sincerity, in Sabr, no weapon formed against you can prosper. Remember, you're attacked not because you're weak, but because you're effective. And the enemy sees it even when you don't. Lesson 7, you're not here to fit in. You were sent to shift the timeline. You've always felt it, haven't you? That inner tension between trying to belong and knowing deep down that you were never meant to blend in. That haunting feeling that you're different, not in arrogance but in design. And that's because you weren't sent here to fit into the broken systems of this world. You were sent to shift timelines, to alter legacies, to awaken people who have been asleep for generations. Allah, the Most High, doesn't send every soul into this world with the same mission. Some are born to exist, others are born to change existence. You, chosen one, were carved from a different mold. Your soul was hand-picked to intervene, to disrupt cycles, to challenge the comfortable lies, and bring people back to divine truth. That's why fitting in has always felt suffocating. That's why trying to be like everyone else has only left you feeling fake and spiritually drained. You were never meant to walk the same path as those chasing status, wealth, and worldly pleasure. You were meant to be the one who carries the light when others choose the easy darkness. Your role in this dunya is not accidental. Every delay, every detour, every painful lesson was divinely arranged to train you for a mission far greater than ordinary success. You are the shift. You are the correction. You are the interruption in the generational curse. Where others gave in, you stood your ground. Where others lied to survive, you told the truth and paid the price. Where others chose the crowd, you chose the cave, and just like the companions of the cave in Surah Al-Kahf, Allah covered you in mercy when the world no longer made space for your presence. Because chosen ones do not follow, they lead. And leadership often comes with isolation, criticism, and silent battles no one else sees. But the unseen sees you. The angels record your resilience. The throne of Allah is not unaware of your sacrifice. People often dismiss you as too intense, too deep, or too different, but in reality, they're just uncomfortable with how your very existence exposes their spiritual sleep. Your presence shifts atmospheres. Your words pierce veils. Your du'as alter what generations before you could not break. And it's not because of who you are, it's because of who walks with you. Allah places His secret in the hearts of those who seek Him in truth. And you have become a vessel of that secret. Your soul carries blueprints from the unseen that this world hasn't recognized yet. You were sent ahead of your time to prepare hearts for what's coming. The shift you're called to create won't always be accepted, but it will be felt. And those who can't handle your energy today will one day benefit from your obedience. Don't dim yourself to make others comfortable. Don't shrink your light to protect egos. You weren't made to echo, you were made to awaken. Every injustice you faced was meant to burn away your dependence on people so you'd lean fully on Allah. Every rejection was a redirection. Every abandonment was a sacred appointment with your true calling. You were chosen not to conform, but to transform, and that comes with spiritual warfare, loneliness, and often no applause. But the reward isn't in this world. It's in the hereafter, when Allah shows you what your sacrifices protected, what your obedience shifted, and how your life created ripples in the Ummah. So the next time you feel like you don't belong, remember, you weren't sent to belong, you were sent to build what doesn't exist yet. You are a walking timeline shift. You are the answered dua of an oppressed ancestor. You are the mercy Allah sent to your family, your community, and this era. And no matter how many people misunderstand you now, one day they will thank Allah for the soul He sent through you. You were never ordinary, you were chosen, forged in fire, and sent with divine purpose. Every silent battle, every betrayal, every hardship was shaping you into a vessel of Allah's light. So never doubt your path. You were not made to fit in. You were made to shift atmospheres. Walk boldly, speak truth, pray deeply, and trust that what Allah has written for you will unfold in His perfect timing. The world may not understand you now, but the heavens already celebrate your resilience. If this message touched your soul, then don't keep it to yourself. Like, share and subscribe to Wisdom of the Prophets. This is your home for truth, healing, and awakening. Together, we rise. Together we remember who we really are, the ones chosen by Allah to bring back the light.